Welcome to Coffee from the Block from the House of Blockchain in Liechtenstein. My name is Thomas Nägele and my guest today is Stephen Stonberg, CEO of Bittrex Global GmbH. It's such a pleasure to have you here, Stephen. Thanks for coming.
It's always a pleasure to be here in Liechtenstein, and our offices are here in the same building as Thomas in the House of Blockchain, so pleasure to be here.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? I mean, I know that you were before crypto, you were in banking. What brought you to crypto?
I think it's interesting. I've always been attracted to sort of new things. Even when I was in banking, I thought of myself as an intrapreneur. I didn't have the guts to be an entrepreneur and leave the safety and comfort of the big banks, but I always gravitated towards the new industries or the new areas. And back in the 90s, I did credit derivatives when that was really new. And then I decided I want to move to the buy side and hedge funds when that was still pretty new. And then all of those things got commoditized and boring. So I had to find something new. And I saw crypto, I thought, wow, this is really going to be not just new, it's going to disrupt everything. And so I jumped right in 3.5 years ago. And like you, it was at a time when people thought you were still nuts if you left the real world, which, I think now we're the real world and they're kind of the surreal world. But anyway, I think that's kind of why I got in.
I remember back these days, the conferences were on islands and it was not in the business district, it was somewhere out in the outskirts.
Ibiza, or not in Manhattan. They were not in banking places.
Absolutely. So, and you work for Bittrex, you're the CEO of Bittrex Global GmbH. That's a cryptocurrency exchange. So, but what is a cryptocurrency exchange? What do you do?
So we're a centralized exchange. So in crypto, you hear a lot about DeFi, and that's a whole other topic people can Google. But centralized is what it's a clearinghouse, and that's what a stock exchange is. So it's no different. It's just that we clear crypto, not stocks. So you can buy and sell. We have about 300 different tokens. So they're all utility tokens, so they're not securities. And we do that here out of Liechtenstein. And you can trade everything from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then to some Dogecoin and all the sort of other interesting sort of alternative coins. And you can onboard with fiat, so that's cash in euros, through Bank Frick, which is just up the road here in Liechtenstein, or through Silvergate for dollars. And then we have credit card on ramps as well.
So if you would like to explain to your family and friends, what are you doing? I mean, you explained it already, but in very simple terms, I can buy and sell Bitcoin, for example, with your exchange.
Exactly.
Yeah. And why did you choose? I mean, you said it already. You're headquartered here in Liechtenstein with Bittrex Global GmbH. Mm-hmm. Why did you choose Liechtenstein?
I think so. It's interesting. So Bittrex is a company, and it's still owned by the same three founders. The company's founded in Seattle. They're all ex-Amazon and Microsoft. They were very senior people in security at both companies, and so we've never been hacked, and the security is at the core. But in terms of the client base of the company, even though it's an American company, most of the clients are outside of the US. Now, crypto regulation in the US is still very uncertain. So we've sort of split the company into three. There's a technology company that supports everything. So even here in Liechtenstein, we have service agreements with Seattle, and they provide all the technology, the wallets, and engineering. That's not being done here. But they also we broke the exchanges in two. So Bittrex supports, with this technology company, a US-only exchange for US residents and US passport holders, and that's under US law. And Bittrex has 47 different state money licenses. It's fully licensed. The problem is there's a lot of uncertainty in the US in terms of all the agencies are fighting to see who's going to win, and that leaves you in a gray area, and that's never good with uncertainty. So some tokens that you think are a utility token, actually the SEC can come and sue you and say, no, that's actually a security, and that's the situation Ripple is in. So in order to not have our non-US clients be subject to that makes no sense. And so the business and our US business is shrinking. We have to delist tokens and focus only on the ones with clarity. Now, we want to grow the business for the rest of our client base. They're outside of the US. So there's this little place called the EU, which we are in Liechtenstein's EEA. So we are under the EU now they have really clear rules, and they've been much more progressive, and the rules here are more centralized anyway. So there are very clear rules in the EU. What is a utility token? What is a security token? And we can get clean legal opinions on all of these tokens where they might not be, they'd be gray and open to lawsuit in the US. They're completely legit here. So that's why we chose EU. We wanted to be here. Now, why did we choose Liechtenstein? So not every country is as crypto friendly So we looked at a lot of different jurisdictions, onshore, offshore Europe, and then we decided to come here because the blockchain act. So which you drafted, we met you and you told
I was part of the work group.
I think so. You enticed us here, but I think that once I sort of came and met, and you have access to it's a small place, you can meet the regulator, and it's an EU regulator. You can meet the government, and they're very helpful, and they want you to come. But they passed legislation, so the Blockchain Act means everything we do is 1,000% in the law here. No uncertainty, perfect legal clarity. And Liechtenstein, on top of all that, is a AAA rated country. You have Swiss franc as the currency, and unlike some of these other jurisdictions where they're little islands, you can drive to Zurich from here, in your car. So it's really accessible, 2 hours from Munich. So I think it just ticks a lot of boxes. We love it here.
Great, and so you already mentioned that our Financial Market Authority, yes, we are part of the European Economic Area, and that's what we hear a lot. That this is something which clients are searching, the legal certainty. And
we looked at Switzerland, and that's which is down the road. We looked at FINMA, but the problem is, so great, you get a license to sell to 7 million people, whereas here you can get a license to sell to the entire EU, and I prefer that.
That's maybe the topic of market and crypto assets regulation that's not yet in force. We have the Liechtenstein Blockchain Act, as you said, that's suitable for Liechtenstein. We're not able to passport the services yet to the European
But at some
Union.
point,
Yes.
I guess my point is when it is, we're in a place where we will be part of that ecosystem. You're not in Switzerland.
Yes, absolutely.
You've opted out.
Absolutely. And we already heard a little bit about banks. Do you see a potential of collaboration with banks, or do you really think when this all started, we heard we will get rid of all of the intermediaries. We don't need banks anymore. Be your own bank. You said you're a centrally organized company, so it seems like you are an intermediary. When you think about the existing banks, and you came from that world, do you think there's a potential collaboration between banks and crypto companies?
I think, at the end of the day, it's not so much crypto, blockchain. Blockchain is just a 24-hour digital settlement system, and traditional banks are operating. There's no standardization. They're systems that have been in place since Bretton Woods post World War II, and they really haven't changed them very much. So it's totally out of date, and they've had no incentive to change it because they can charge lots of money for these bad systems, and they don't care. But blockchain is the Amazon moment for retail for financial services. So they're about to get destroyed by the blockchain, not by us. We're just an example of a company that's using blockchain. So I think the blockchain is going to force convergence between the digital world of finance, which is what I would loosely call crypto and blockchain, and the traditional world of finance. So it's unclear, with all of these things, it's like the internet in the 90s. You don't know exactly how it's going to play out. You just know it's going to be massively disruptive, and the world will not look the same. So I think crypto companies will move into banking, banks will move into crypto. There'll be mergers, consolidation, and unclear who the winners will be. In retail, if I told you 30 years ago that Amazon would be own planet Earth, you would laugh. They sold books with a dial-up modem. So, maybe you would have thought a different company would be in that position. But so in financial services, who's to say that it will be the JP Morgans or the Goldmans? Coinbase IPO'd at a higher market cap than Goldman Sachs. Coinbase is 3 years old. Goldman took 150 years to be worth less than Coinbase. So, who knows? It's a brave new world, right?
Could you agree that at least, it sounds like that you would agree that blockchain is at least here to stay?
Blockchain's here to stay, and crypto I think is here to stay. But I think the important thing to understand is crypto is just a specific use case of blockchain, and crypto is here to stay. But the existing popular cryptos, which is a subset of a subset of a subset, is who knows? It's too early to say.
I have one last question I would like to ask all of my guests. What is your favorite coffee?
The ones made here at the Coffee from the Block by Nicola. I have to say he's got a really expensive coffee machine. It's really good.
Espresso macchiato, is it? Maybe?
Espresso macchiato is my favorite.
That's the one you ordered.
But only the one you make.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Stephen, to be my guest. It was a big pleasure to have you here, and looking forward to talk to you soon.
Likewise. Thank you, Thomas.